It never gets old to rewatch the funniest R-rated comedy movies of all time, as they are crowd pleasers and often surprisingly heartfelt films. However, when a movie gets an R rating, it's often because there are raunchy or risque elements within the story, which don't always age well when viewed through a modern lens. Fortunately, these projects have overwhelmingly stood the test of time, avoiding common pitfalls that can date a movie and disrupt the audience's enjoyment. While there are plenty of weird comedy movies from the 2000s, there are also some all-time great films that have become classics of the genre. The early 2000s were an amazing decade for comedy films. Some of the best R-rated projects from the past 10 years were clearly inspired by the great movies of the past. Whether they follow a familiar formula or are groundbreaking in style and structure, there's a lot to love about these works, and it's exciting to show them to new audiences, experiencing them for the first time. That I Love You, Man is a love story about one of the most important and most forgotten relationships in cinema, friendship. A heartfelt exploration of loneliness and how hard it can be to make new friends as an adult. I Love You, Man sees Paul Rudd and Jason Segel form an unlikely but true friendship that changes both their lives. It's a touching reminder of how important it is to connect with friends and build a life outside of a romantic relationship. Though it's anchored by its deeper themes and poignant message, I Love You, Man is still a comedy through and through. It puts Peter, Rudd, and Sidney, Segel, in unexpected and difficult situations at every turn. Though Rashida Jones plays the role of the straight man as Peter's fiancée, Zoe, she still gets to have a lot of fun throughout the story and helps round out the male-driven story. The healthy and genuine friendship at the heart of I Love You, Man makes it easy to appreciate the film, no matter how many times you rewatch it. Palm Springs, 2020. Directed by Max Barbaco. One of the coolest time loop movies to come out in recent years, the delightfully charming Palm Springs pays tribute to the best parts of the genre while simultaneously distinguishing itself. It would be easy to immediately compare Palm Springs to Groundhog Day, as both are rom-coms with a sci-fi twist, but Palm Springs pulls both its protagonists into the loop, developing their relationship from there. Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti are pitch perfect as Niles and Sarah. Their chemistry flows and feels natural from the minute they share the screen, instantly making the audience care about what happens to the couple. Set in the idyllic Palm Springs against the backdrop of a wedding, the movie makes good use of these elements, juxtaposing them with the nihilism the characters feel while they're stuck in the loop. However, by the end of Palm Springs, both the audience and characters have regained their purpose and desire to live life to the fullest. Animal House, 1978. Directed by John Landis. Of all National Lampoon's film projects, Animal House might be the best known and most enduring. Tackling the raunch and hilarity of university fraternities, Animal House features a star-studded cast with John Belushi playing one of his most iconic roles, Bluto. Though packed with chaos and sometimes nonsensical, Animal House appeals to the parts of its audience that can relate to the antics of young adulthood and the intensity of the college parties of old. For an R-rated comedy from the late 1970s, Animal House has aged surprisingly well. There are dated elements that can't be ignored, but these are far less distracting than similar projects of the era. Most importantly, Animal House isn't afraid to poke fun at itself and acknowledges how silly and offbeat some of the comedy is, which successfully lets the audience in on the jokes. The film is a non-stop ride of adventure and action, taking the viewer on an unforgettable and hilarious journey.